In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Shout out to G Black for that intro. Super
intro
Black
gets me every time.
It does it every single time.
Every time.
Hey, welcome to Blur's Eye View. Blur's Eye View is a podcast that covers geek pop culture and everything in between. I'm your host, Chris Fury, and with me is my co-host, Candy B. How's it doing?
It's doing. I'm very happy because Chris and DC were over last night, and he helped put together my airbrush makeup machine that I've been procrastinating about. So I'm excited because now my dining room table has my sewing machine on it, and I'm feeling creative again. So I'm feeling great.
Now, if you need me to do the sewing thing, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
I haven't come across a lot of men that know how to work a sewing machine or fix a button or a zipper, so it's all good.
I can sew by hand, but the sewing machine, we just haven't had a lot of time together. That's all I'm saying.
More time together, so I'm doing great now that we got that together.
So yeah, there's been, I know it looks a little bit light to the people out there if you're watching or if you're listening. We had a guest coming on, but he had a bit of an emergency, so that's okay. We're going to have him on at a later date. DC is coming on his way in. Him and these missions I keep having him on,
run him off.
It's the job. It's the job. What can I say?
Back like, I'm still.
Let me tell you about this. It's kind of an inside joke. Last night we were at Brandy's, as she said, and we were watching the Cecil Hotel thing on Netflix. Let me tell you something.
Creepy.
There is no way in hell that I'm going to stay in a hotel that since 1939 they've had a murder or suicide at some rate. That it was up to 80 at some point.
In extreme ways. We're not talking about they're old and they naturally, pass away. And even having serial killers like the Night Stalker guy stayed there. Just too much.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, that's not going to work for me. That's a hard no. I would rather stay on the street.
Pretty much. I'm going to stay on Skid Row because they said there's a lot of people. I'm going to stay on Skid Row.
Right.
Rather than stay in a place where they said they don't even go past a certain floor.
I think the old guy said he doesn't even go past the 6th floor.
Yeah. I'm like, we're not.
How bad that is. You know how bad that is when
scary, especially because he looked kind of like that sketchy guy that had seen some shit. You see some people and you're like, you look like you seen some shit. He has seen and been involved in some shit, and he was like, nah. You don't go past that floor. I'm not staying any place where you don't go past a certain floor. Like what the 13 ghosts is going on?
The 13 ghosts. No. There was way too many situations like when they said the woman and her jilted lover, or they were angry. She was angry at her lover or something. So She was on the 7th floor. She dives out the window to teach him a lesson and falls to her death, but falls on top of someone else and kills that person.
And
I'm like, you know how bad that is? That's really bad luck. I'm sorry. That's just.
And you ain't teaching nobody no good lesson that don't want you by killing yourself. You doing them a favor. That's dumb as hell. Like, thanks, I really don't have to deal with you ever.
And then the ex-hotel manager who was non-blinking the entire time.
During the interview like this the whole time?
Yeah, she never blinked. She didn't blink one time. Every time they had her on camera, no blinking.
So weird. She would deliver the weirdest little monologues and just kind of stare off.
Yeah, didn't she say like on her first day somebody passed away? Like somebody died?
Then she still kept clocking in. I'm like,
that's a hard pass. Like, somebody died today, and it's not a hospital.
Listen,
okay, I'm checking out.
I'm rolling. Not that you said the death rate at hospitals don't even be that bad. It's a hospital.
Like, no, you be like again. No. This is an insanely. It's a scary situation, and what I've noticed with Netflix, and I said it last night, they are managing to, like you said it too, Bernie. You said they're taking the ID channel's place. Mm-hmm. They're showing some of the obscure real crimes
they say
that nobody wants to talk about.
And I thought like playing it like with having dinner guests over, I'm like, this will be something nice just to play in the background, little murder mystery. And then we all watching it like, oh, hell no. Trying to figure it out ourselves the whole time, and her hand doing this.
Yeah, she was doing like the Texas 2-step outside the elevator.
It was bad. Like, oh my God.
There was only 2 people I was willing to listen to on that whole series, and that was the old black man and the old Latino janitor, and who was like,
the one that was
like,
speaking no English.
Yeah, no English whatsoever. And he was like, and he like, you could tell he was like, I seen some stuff and I don't know what. No.
When I opened it, I see her body. I'm like, why are you so calm, sir? And again, another person working at the hotel, you done seen some shit. That's why he was so calm. I'm like, no. He's
like more than likely told them like, you don't want to go in there and deal with that. So
no, who wanted to tell that anyway? Because they found her body in the water tank where everybody is drinking and bathing with that water. So who wants to be the person that's like, yo, we're gonna have to tell our residents because y'all been drinking dead woman water.
Dead woman water. Oh, that sounds like
lawsuits. I wonder if
sounds like a bad Aquafina commercial or something.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I'm just like, you could get sued for that.
So and in lieu of all of that, when you hear and I'm speaking to a certain group of people here, so let's put this out here. When you hear about hotels that have a high death rate, don't go there to stay just to explore, because that's how horror movies happen.
All them, like, I won't even say millennials because I think that's Gen Z after us, but all those kids coming up there like, we're gonna stay at the Cecil Hotel. Why? That's not the first thing that goes through my head when you see some stuff like that. Like, you know what I want to do? Stay here. No.
Yeah, I think like the one couple, I think they were from Ireland or something.
They were something because they had a little accent.
Yeah, they had an accent.
And how sticky the floor was.
Yeah, the white or the girlfriend was saying, she was saying like there was dust everywhere, and the husband or boyfriend, whoever he was saying, like when you walked, he was like, you literally had to peel your shoe off the floor. And I'm like, what make you want to stay there if the floor is sticky?
The super cheap rates. Apparently, you could be like in the heart of LA and stay someplace like $80-something a month, $80-something a day. But the deal for the month, I think they said was like $400.
Yeah.
So that is like super cheap for a lot of people, but that also means kind of anybody can stay there. And they said that Richard Ramirez, serial killer guy, was walking up the stairs in his blood-stained clothes and underwear, and nobody's saying nothing to him because he'd stay a couple nights there after killing people all in LA.
Yeah, like it was a job. No. Like it was a job. He came home from the factory and just stripped down. That's exactly what he did. He treated that like a factory job.
Like, ooh, I am tired. It takes a lot of energy.
I couldn't believe. There were moments we were sitting there watching it and like our jaws hit the floor. Like, why Like,
the fact that
no.
it was so quiet. Now, between the three of us, we know we can make some noise. We can talk, child. And the fact that we were quiet watching this documentary, like, what do you say? Like,
the typical reaction to things that we should have.
Right. You didn't know what to say. So if you haven't checked it out on Netflix, go ahead and freak yourself out and watch it.
Like, I think it was called The Crimes at Cecil.
Something like that. It's gonna be in the top 10 feature. Like when you open it up, you'll be able to see it because now that they feature who's watching what the most in the country or in the world, I think it'll be in the top 10.
Yeah, I think, and you know what? And it took place in LA. And it, like I was telling Brandy last night, I said, I think that I think it was the 5th season of American Horror Story where they deal with the hotel. It was called American Horror Story Hotel. It took place in LA, and it had the same kind of situation going on, like all these weird deaths and everything else. But obviously, American Horror Story always has a spin to it. So I wonder if it had any kind of influence on that show.
It has to, because I didn't know that all that stuff went so far back. I think that was throwing me off the most about it, hearing like, oh, this has been going on since like 1927.
Yeah.
Y'all too calm for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nobody thought about just tearing this place down.
Yeah, and like I'm doing some research on what it's built upon, like something.
Bring a priest in there, bring an army of priests in there to cleanse the place.
They bought it or made it for like $1 million at the time. And then because the place I think it's been around about 100 years, whatever. So they cost $1 million, bought it for either 40.
Yeah, they bought it for like 80. Like a farm,
okay.
like
it went up.
Farming,
So now they said half of it's going to be low income, assisted living housing, whatever, and the other half is going to be luxury apartments. I don't know how luxury apartments and low income.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works. Normally, those type of situations, you're on different sides of the town, let alone being in the same building. Vicinity. I don't know what that's going to look like. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Yeah,
so that was a bit crazy. Otherwise than that, otherwise in the creepy hotel dinner party.
The creepy hotel dinner party. That's what it was at my place.
What have you been up to this week?
Crying. Because different shows that I've been catching up on, everything has gotten me emotional, whether it be Dr. Stone, almost finished where I need to be on Attack on Titan, trying to avoid different spoilers for that because people have been losing their minds, and I'm so happy about the hype any anime gets because that was just a genre where you were looked at as weird, especially if you were Black and you were into it, and there was just such a small community. And unless you were like hyping up Dragon Ball Z, nobody was really here for you when you're like, you know, oh, well, I watch Inuyasha or I like Akazune Cha-Cha, and nobody watches that. They're like, no, you're weird. Just watch Dragon Ball Z and you'll be fine. Yeah. And I caught a couple of reruns of like shows I hadn't watched in years, but forgot how good they were, like Girlfriends and Angel and just whatever would be on the interwebs. Since I can't work out the way I want to, I just have this time slot now. Because I got 2 fractured feet, y'all. It's ridiculous. I've never broken or fractured anything, but because of that, I can't work out like I want. So I was like, man, let me just like see what's actually on these apps because I don't watch as much TV as I pay for. So given that I have like Crunchyroll and HBO and Disney Plus and all this stuff, I'm like, maybe I should watch something that's in my queue. I don't know if you go through this, but I feel like I spend more time looking for something to watch than actually watching.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. My wife pays for the Netflix, and there's times where I'm just like, it's just certain things I know that's on there that I want to watch. But then there's like these other things, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. Like, there isn't anything to watch, you know? And so well, you know, before we get to that topic, I know that Netflix announced earlier this year that, you know, due to COVID, they're going to have a movie every week for the rest of the year, like a new film every week for the rest of the year. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
It's so interesting how that plays because then I'm always thinking like I'm a movie theater girl, so I like going to the movie theater. So I'm like, what is going to happen to the theater? But now that these streaming services are basically making it so, hey, if you wanted, you could have like a little mini COVID party at your home, less than 10 people, whatever the rules are, depending on where you at. Mm-hmm. Y'all can watch the premiere of something together, because I'm sure it'll be just like when pay-per-view was such a huge thing and people would buy the game, or, they buy the fight to see Tyson, and everybody come over their house. I feel like this is where it's going to go, because movie theaters are going to become obsolete, just like a lot of people's jobs. If you worked on a computer or something at the job, now that you work from home, it's like, is the office really necessary? Are these buildings necessary?
Right. So you have people like they were mentioning Zack Snyder's Justice League. They said they have no plans on releasing that in the movie theaters at all. It's just going to be strictly HBO Max, one and done, or not one and done, but just there. That's it. And I mean, I'm okay with that, because let's face it, nobody wants to go through that again. They just want to see his vision. Let's get it out the way and let's move on, because as really DC's kind of been screwing the pooch for fans lately as far as their theatrical films. They haven't been delivering like they should. They just haven't been delivering like they should. And I mean, you have Jared Leto's Joker in there. You finally have Darkseid. You finally see Darkseid.
Seeing how the redesigns have been pretty cool, but I'm also kind of exhausted at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and it's literally around the corner. It's like, what, 2 weeks from now?
I thought it was a week from now, but yeah, you're right.
It's a week, about a week. I think it's the 18th.
Something like that.
Something like that. About 2
I think
weeks.
I put it in my calendar.
I think it's the same day the Falcon and Winter Soldier drop.
Oh, that's not smart.
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to pit it up against the competition.
Oh, DC, when will you learn?
You couldn't just say,
it's next Thursday. So
yeah, okay. So they're gonna drop it the day before then.
Yeah.
They're like, we're dropping the day before, and Disney was like, here, hold my beer. Like, we'll let you have your lunch. We'll let you have your lunch 24 hours.
Because that's a wrap when we come out anyway.
Like, then nobody's gonna wanna. They're like, you spent 4 hours watching this. In the meantime, come over here and watch our buddy cop action comedy.
Pretty much,
because that's what it's going to be.
I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be really good, and it's going to be, I think, off rip what people are expecting it to be. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to very much get what you see is what you get, because the way that trailer was set up, it was like, yeah, I figured it would be that type of show.
Oh yeah, you got that vibe from them. From what was it? From Civil War. You just got that vibe from them.
It was almost like if Angel and Spike had a show. Anytime Angel and Spike were together, it was kind of like I could watch a whole series with y'all, because it is that older brother, younger brother, tough love kind of whatever. It's that
we'll deal with each other because it's for the betterment of whatever. And so it's funny you mentioned Spike and Angel. The drama that has been surrounding Joss Whedon.
Child. I thought he was gonna be able to go under the radar until I posted that letter and tagged him. Oh God,
I'm like, shit. What just happened? I'm like, the whole thing just went down. And God, you're talking about that with some. Now that doesn't say anything about the man's work. The work that the product that he's put out. The Buffy, Angel, Dollhouse, Firefly, Serenity,
Dollhouse.
These shows still hold very Cabin in the Woods. Love that movie.
That was a good one.
Yeah, still hold a really good special. He puts out good product, but it's crazy because all I could think of was please don't say it's anything racial. Please don't say anything racial or sexual. Just none of the above. Please, let's just say you're being a dick on set or something.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And I don't know. And then Ray Fisher comes out. He says something else, and I'm like, "Oh God!"
And I'm pretty sure people are holding back because of if you have somebody who's advising you, like as a lawyer, you could probably get more by revealing less if the people are willing to play ball, so to speak. So it's kind of like, what is your end game here? What do you want? Whether it's an opportunity, whether it's money, let's see what we can get you without you being like, oh yeah, by the way, he dropped the N bomb.
By the way, you want to know something? I'm Detective Dan Keating.
I told you he was coming in like that. I said it.
Let me tell you something. You guys want to know? By the way, Ray Fisher can get his stuff out of here. Just tell him call Dan Keating. I'm the best cop there is.
He was, though. He was.
There was
Jesus
this is going back to like the Cecil Hotel viewing we had. There was a cop, Detective Keating, and he literally was every bit the stereotypical grizzled.
My cousin, by
I've
the
seen
way.
some shit. Yeah,
We're
I've
both
seen some
grizzled
shit.
veterans.
He had the spiked hair, the black leather jacket, the
Yeah.
gray shirt. He probably had blue jeans and black shoes on. I guarantee you.
Stop, not the black shoes.
They were ambidextrous. We bought them at Walmart.
Ambidextrous shoe.
Those shoes are
Jesus.
the worst.
You guys want to know something? I've been on the force 12 years. I was supposed to retire yesterday. I've seen some shit, man. Very crazy out here in the streets. Ray Fisher, I believe him, yo.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
I believe him. I've seen shit in the streets of LA, Cincinnati, Detroit. I've been a beat cop in Milwaukee.
Oh, it was actually
Milwaukee hookers are a whole different thing.
Milwaukee hookers.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
I will say this, that the only thing that show was missing was the chief of police who pulls out the cup and then goes into the drawer and pulls out a thing of whiskey. That was the only thing that was
They
missing.
always pour that pour like this, just
Yeah. He's like, oh, we got to talk about this again. Hold on.
another body. We found another body, Chief. He's always getting the bad news. They found another body on Skid Row, Chief.
He was like,
Another
son
girl
of a
disappeared
bitch.
at the Cecil.
Get on the
Judy,
phone.
I'm gonna be home late.
Yeah, I'm gonna be home late again. Tell Timmy we're not gonna make it to the bar mitzvah.
Sorry, I missed his baseball.
He's always
game.
got on
My
like a
jerseys.
raincoat, like always wearing a raincoat.
Yeah.
That guy.
My leather jacket's in the wash. Supposed to be my day off. I had to go to Pittsburgh. A clown killed himself with a dildo. It's fucking amazing.
Joke's on him.
He had it in his ass, and he said, "Hey, I'm not the only one getting fucked tonight."
Talk about an insane clown.
So I swear you can't put the three of us in the room nowhere.
The clown, he like big balloons, I guess.
Those are on balloons. He's
The only thing you know how to make with snakes. That's it's really weird.
Oh man. So what you been up to for the week? Other than the, like I call it, what was it? The horror hotel dinner party or something?
Yeah, I went to Pittsburgh and
it got weird.
it got weird.
It got weird.
I literally just got back from Pittsburgh. I solved the case out there. It was a case of the Mill City.
Bye.
You didn't let me finish. Jesus Christ.
Wait, because he can't hold that voice long. So just let me finish.
It's hard to do. I don't know how Batman does this shit. It's like gargling sandpaper and nails and kids' dreams.
Kids' dreams are rough.
They're very rough. They're hopes. Oh shit, they had planned.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you about my plans. I planned on retiring 3 years ago. That shit went up in smoke.
3 years. So that means you had 3 years before you retired.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be back.
You stayed on the force.
Oh yeah, he's out. Not staying on the force. They asked him to stay. Every time he tries to get out, they bring him back in.
Like, we can't solve the case without you, Keating.
We can't start. You're Keaton. We need you.
All right.
I'd be so pissed as a detective. Like, oh, you're the best, but it's like I can't get a fucking break. Like I'm with my kids. Like I can't get on this case.
They always come knocking at your door like,
they show up.
I know you retired like 2 weeks ago, but we got this file that came in. Like,
you literally are holding like your grandkid, and they're like, "What's going on?" Sorry, another girl.
Judy, take little Tommy, change his diaper. I gotta go. The world just shitted itself again. I only got time to change one diaper today.
Oh man. So
the mean streets of Detroit.
And so if everyone's just catching up, we were supposed to have a guest on, Crazy 8 the Great. He had a family emergency, so we hope everything's all right. He's going to come on with us at a later date, so we wish him well, wish his family well. So
yes, but
we are going to carry on as we always do. Loose cannons, freeze birds, whatever you want to call it.
You got to be able to pivot on this job.
That's it. We got a little news to talk about.
A little.
Little. Was it light this week? Not really. T.I. was taken off the next Ant-Man film. I'm not really surprised by that at all.
With everything going on, I'm surprised he's still free.
Listen,
Tell me about it.
I'm like, you ain't got him yet.
Like it
I
came out.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. Like it started out like a 24-hour, maybe 48-hour thing, and then you didn't hear anything for a while, and then it popped up again. I'm like, oh shit.
It just, I wish they were rumors and a story that I felt was a hard sell for me to be like, that don't even sound right. I was listening to everything like,
yeah.
It's
like,
not.
What's
It's
that
not
one?
so
Far-fetched.
It's not. If I was the lawyer, I'd be like, okay, you can level with me. Like
Like what was the one meme with dude? With the one meme, the dude does that look like
when he go. That was literally when I do it to my son. He's like, "That's the black mom look when you don't believe anything."
right. Like,
you're right. The lips go
we can't
right
say nothing
at a 90-degree angle. Like I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Wish I had more to go on, Chief.
Call Katie, man.
Bring in detective.
Dictating.
But yeah, it does not. But
see,
see, as I was saying earlier, I really don't. I mean, I understand he's, well, at least he was getting into more acting roles and everything, and just his role in Ant-Man. I mean, I didn't gravitate towards it, and I didn't lose anything out from it by them saying, "Okay, we're taking him off the roster." I'm like, because really everybody gravitated towards Luis anyway, so he sold the whole team. I mean, okay, we're taking him off the
sorry, I
was about to say, did I just hear myself in echo? Is my mic? But yeah, they like Luis. Everybody likes Luis. That's where it's at. So
he's great.
Yeah.
And I was always wondering, like, since the snap, where the fuck is Luis at? So what happened? You know,
I was here for him. Like yeah.
Like everybody died. Like Scott, where's your people at, Scott? Like, you didn't go check on. I know you got to check on your.
But the good
daughter.
thing is, like, he's replaceable, and ain't nobody gonna be like, "Oh my god, bring him back!" Like, I'm just waiting for them to get rid of old girl from Aquaman. I'm still waiting for that to be confirmed.
That little rumor,
that would be so great. Like,
yeah, she's gone, but the rumor that they're having running around, Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, I've seen them do some edits with her with red hair and stuff, and I haven't heard her say anything. But I'm just happy it looks like Amber's off, because I'm like, you're not gonna destroy this man's career when I have heard and seen footage where you both were being very verbally abusive, physically abusive, throwing shit at each other. It wasn't like they were like putting their hands on each other, like throwing bottles.
They was just being belligerent and everything else.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it got real weird, real fast.
Yeah. And you were and like he wasn't even trying to destroy your career, but he was like, fuck, you trying to tear my money up right now.
That's when I feel like it gets to another level, because it's one thing if we decide to break up or whatever, we was both acting crazy on each other. Let's just split and not mess up with each other's money. I will give this to Rihanna and Chris Brown. They did not interfere with each other's cash after that. It was like, we're gonna do our separate careers. You do you, I'm gonna do me, whatever. But it wasn't like a thing.
Let's just shut the whole thing down and
it's like your money don't have shit to do with what I'm going through with you, especially if I'm gonna end up back with you. Now, if y'all on some back and forth shit, because I'm pretty sure this wasn't the first crazy argument and something. No. Honestly, anytime you're in an abusive anything, it ain't the first time. It's the first time we heard about it, but it ain't the first time y'all been doing this shit.
Yeah.
And you was wrong anyway for being like 47, getting with somebody who was like 23 at the time. Child, that was a midlife crisis, like just waiting to explode. I remember first hearing the rumors of them dating after they were on set, and I'm like, first of all, on set romance. Second of all, sir, you are like twice her age. What are you going through right now? What's happening?
So what are you going
through them draws? That's what he was going through.
Got the draws.
All right.
GTD.
He's like, why wax these windows when I can wax them draws?
Okay. And then it makes you look even worse when you're a young woman, because I'm like, it's going to be very hard for people to look at you as a victim, because they're going to look at you like you saw dollar signs as you got with Johnny Depp. And prior to him,
Johnny Depp. I mean,
who knew you?
How
That's
many
true.
women are like, "Oh, it's Johnny Depp. I'm not gonna throw this ass in a circle for him."
Oh,
Like,
definitely throwing it in a circle for Captain Jack. What are you talking about? Like you said, it's Johnny Depp.
The character actor, the extreme character actor.
I don't even know the guy, but I mean, he feels kind of weird. I don't know. He's seemed like one of them swarmy dudes that just
Not for me.
put
Have
his
you ever
toes
seen
in
him
his
in
head and like get all philosophical and
those
ponder
late
life
night
for no reason? But
those
he
late
says
night
weird shit
interviews?
that has nothing to do with nothing.
He
but
does.
circle because it's a sun star.
If
What the
you
fuck you talking about,
if you've
Johnny?
ever watched
Like,
him
Johnny,
on one of those late
calm
night
down,
talk shows,
brother.
he does that. He does the same thing that Jim Carrey does, where
Stars are
they're
bright
in it
people
one
who
moment,
never
and
made
then the
it.
next moment they say something really weird, and you're just like,
That's
But
Johnny
see,
Depp.
only thing is with Jim Carrey, you're waiting for the weird. You don't
Oh,
know, you don't know what level of weird you're gonna get.
what
but
makes
you're waiting.
his like interviews so great though is when he be dropping real shit, it be real shit from him.
Johnny Depp
Yeah.
don't drop nothing that's real. It's just
No.
real
No.
Kyrie Irving philosophical.
And
Or
the thing
We're all
is,
here because our bones aren't dust anymore.
yeah,
Or he was on Letterman one time, basically like, none of these cameras and interviews even matter. And I'm thinking, your PR person's probably pulling their hair out because you really ain't supposed to say that shit. Even if you feel it, you're not supposed to say it because you're still supposed to be this Hollywood person that people want to work with. And if you got this attitude about yourself, like unless it's Tim Burton, I don't fucking care anyway. No one's gonna want to work with you.
yeah.
Yeah, but him and Tim Burton been getting bags for decades, so I can see why.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like, if I don't work with another director, I always got 10.
Call Tim up. What do you got? I'll take it.
Pretty much.
Oh, I was going to call you.
Dildos
Anyway.
for hands. I'll do it.
I'll do it. Say less.
You want to play Scott Summers?
We gotta draw the line somewhere. So we gotta draw the line somewhere.
Can you imagine a Johnny Depp melancholy Scott Summers?
You know what? No,
Being killed me because
that would be like his Robert. That would be like his Robert Downey Jr. Kurt Lazarus role. He was like he's gonna get so
I'm
into the role.
Dude with eyes that turn red.
He's actually gonna get the surgery, like take
He's gonna get the surgery and everything. He's gonna be all
Laser
melancholy.
eyes.
He's gonna separate himself from everybody all the time and cry in the corner.
And bitch out when a girl walks in.
Bitch out. Gene. No, I'm sorry.
Y'all wrong, although it's funny.
But it's always Gene. It's always Gene.
I'm like, Gene ain't even worried about you. Gene throwing that ass in a circle for a whole nother mutant, and you up here crying.
In other news, we got the Helsing.
Bust the nuts and turn it into the
Bust
Dark
the nuts.
Phoenix on freaking Logan, and you're crying.
You like,
oh my god! In the other news, the Helsing anime is getting turned into a live action feature by Amazon Studios by the John Wick writer Derek Kolstad.
that's big.
That sounds
And here's
amazing.
for those, and it's the same. Helsing. There it is. Based off the anime and the manga. So let's
They know they can do some hair. That hair be looking the same.
Let's put that back up.
That hair be looking the same. I have seen that in Castlevania. I've seen it over and over again.
Run down the line.
But it's still the same kind of trope in story. It's the Helsing you're thinking about. It's the one that hunts the vampires and the demons and the ghouls and everything else. I don't know.
I'm still waiting for them to give us a sequel because I ain't gonna lie. I was here for him. I loved it. What are you talking about? I was so here for it. I was.
It was kind of cheesy.
It was so corny. It was so campy. It was everything I wanted it to be. And
It was corny and campy.
To this day, I'm
That's
still
not a
waiting.
For the Hugh Jackman, it was a check. That's what it was.
Yeah, but I mean,
I will say it was a hard sell for me to see Kate like that because I'm used to like as Celine, so kind of playing, kind of like I need this guy's help was a little weird because I'm like you whoop everybody ass. You don't need nobody
the Frankenstein monster was weird. He was
you talking about? Oh yeah.
Educated hawk with no superpower. She was just weird. I didn't like it. It was just. For me,
but so you know what? That's when they were flooding the theaters with Hugh Jackman films. Like it was, if it wasn't X-Men, it was Swordfish. If it wasn't Swordfish, it was Helsing. Wasn't Helsing? It was what was it? Real Steel.
Swordfish was pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad. I'd rather watch Van Helsing.
Van Helsing was bomb.
It was a bomb.
No, Geely was a bomb. Okay.
Oh
Who?
yeah, that was
Helping.
Geely.
Geely?
Geely
Don't
was
you
absolute.
ever bring that name up ever again. I'd rather be talking about Scott Summers in a good light than Geely. The fuck? Geely.
Like that, just no.
What that big Affleck?
Yeah. Her and
Halo.
that, and it goes right back to
Oh my god.
goes right back to
Halo
on-screen
had all
romance.
the rings like Thanos.
She did. She did.
She definitely did. She was following Elizabeth.
Talk about a body count or a list. Like she, hey ho. I mean J-Lo.
Don't do that to her.
She was.
She did it to herself.
She was locking them
No, I
down.
can't categorize a woman as a hoe when every dude.
I didn't say she was. I said J-Lo. It just my Spanish.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Bootsy because you sounded like how he was sounding about Lori Harvey. Okay,
Hating.
basically,
he was hating. That's what he was hating.
because
He was hating.
these Hollywood men
She
be
got her
always-
ring.
No, I'm talking about Boosie was hating. Boosie was hating.
Bootsy
he's
mad
mad.
because she never answered that DM.
I was about to say he was mad. He didn't get a piece. I don't want.
That's
a piece
what
of
that
J-Lo.
was.
I'm just
Because I was
saying,
like,
he got more
when he
rings
said
than
it,
Brady.
when he said it, I'm like, dude, did you have any skin in the game? Is that what you're talking about?
He sounded
Yeah,
mad. He was like,
No.
"We hate me out here, supporting the fact that she do." I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah,
Like,
you
what
saying that
happened?
like you a little. It's a
Like,
little
put the shit on
personal
the
for
line, give you $100.
He's like, "I put a Birkin
did-
bag
she
on
did that.
layaway for that girl,
Yeah.
and she didn't respond back
in
to me."
Starbucks.
Oh my god. Mortal Kombat trailer. Since it came out, we never got a chance to talk about it.
That's Justice League. Fuck what everybody talking about.
You don't think it's gonna be? You don't think it's gonna be right?
I do. I'm waiting for it. That
I
Justice
am
League.
too.
I don't care what nobody say. I'm watching Justice League.
Definitely watching Justice League.
Bugging their opinions out. Every time I post something about Justice League, somebody come on there. Well, it's not Zack Snyder, and he just did it for the money. And suck my balls, Mr. Garrison. I don't give a damn. I'm watching.
Mr. Garrison.
Suck my balls, Mr. Garrison.
Why? I don't understand the people that you sounded like him. I don't understand the people that get mad at you for being excited about something. Like you're
But
allowed.
here's what I don't like. I'm not gonna get on the soapbox, but if I post something, that's my opinion. This ain't up for debate. This ain't for you to put your
Really
opinion
not.
out there. I don't give a damn if you know Zack Snyder personally and he told you he fucked off $1 million on this movie. I don't give a damn. I'm watching what I want. I'm not watching Coming to America. People like it's good, it's bad. I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching it. Plain and simple. That's
And
just
that's-
me. 33 years too late.
Wait, that is a soapbox.
Oh, my bad. It's
That
talk.
is a soapbox.
I'll jump off
mad
it
at
now. I'm just saying, like, I'm watching Justice League, all 4 hours of it.
Definitely
I'm
gonna
here
watch
for
it.
Combat,
Yeah, 'cause that's
all
what
whatever
Thursday
hours it
is.
is, and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy it,
See,
regardless.
now,
of
Mortal Kombat is actually one of those video game films that even the original one wasn't
I
bad.
like the original.
No, I
Annihilation.
love the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Annihilation.
I mean-
That's the best we were getting at the time. It was 20 years ago, and they did a damn good job for what we could
for
have.
its time, the graphics, well, not graphics.
That Goro, come the fuck on.
yeah, for its time, it
It was
did
ahead
the
of
job.
its time.
It was
Yeah.
great.
It
I
did.
was so,
Annihilation, they could have kept.
Yeah, that's true.
They
Annihilation
got it
was not great.
I'm probably more excited about the guy who's playing Kung Lao than I am the one that's playing Liu. Just because I was so in love with the original actor. So I'm just like, we can't bring him back. Asian don't raise it. I'm sure he looked great. Like, we can't just
Yeah, where is the original Liu Kang?
bring him in. I have no clue. He just disappeared. He did that in Jungle Book, and that nigga disappeared. Like, we
He
heard
He
from him.
did do Jungle Book. I forgot.
I love that
He
too.
was a
He got
dope Mowgli.
protected role.
Yeah. Damn, what happened? I'm gonna have
Couldn't
to
tell
look
you.
him up.
Well, he did Annihilation, and I think he did Mortal Kombat, Jungle Book, Annihilation was like, fuck this shit. I'm getting out the game. This shit.
Annihilation was pretty awful.
He's
I
probably
seen
on
that the other night. He got like short hair, raining, like this nigga going to a rave, like he didn't cut his hair.
It was bad. And
It
I
was
was like, the first
horrible.
Raiden was like so good. Like that dry humor and how
Gangster.
he played him, it was perfect.
I don't even. The second one, he just remind me of a go-go girl. It just seemed like he was.
The second one was bad. The Sindel was
Oh my God, this is terrible. Somebody please find Ja Rule, get hold of this motherfucker so I can make sense of all
It
this.
makes sense, man.
It was bad. It was bad.
There's way too many, and I can go on a whole diatribe of video game films that just didn't. make the bar.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna leave them folks alone.
Actually, in hindsight, it wasn't that bad.
Thank you. Hindsight was not that
Now,
bad.
and follow me on this. Follow me on this rabbit hole. I'm gonna take y'all down.
Oh boy.
Was it campy and corny as Brandy said about Van Helsing?
Definitely.
Yes. But for its time, and for it to be based off a game that was kind of fucking out there, and you had to really
kind of wrap your
kind of
mind
really
around
nail
it.
down some stuff, and it's really kind of hard to do.
I think it
wasn't
was,
that bad.
There were some things that really I think it was one of those situations where they were trying to give it fan service and
it missed the mark.
Really, yeah, it did.
Cooper was
if they redid it, I'd want to either see a fun movie somehow, some way, figure out the storyline about Mario Kart. I'd like that, or the game where he was jumping through the paintings. That would be cool as fuck.
Oh,
I know,
what was that? 3D? Was
they could
the
pull
3D
that off.
one?
Mario Paint or something like that.
It was something like that, but I thought that was one of the better Mario games, and I think that would be a cool.
I mean, I like the original story. Like the original plot was cool. It was some character designs that were flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Some execution that just didn't hit the mark. But again, for its time,
it was decent.
They had the Goombas was kind of creepy and janky. Yes, you know, King Koopa was a normal nigga.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper with cornrows.
No, shut up.
He did have cornrows. He had the AI cornrows too. No, he had the Kawhi Leonard, the straight back.
Yeah, the straight back.
That helped Kawhi play better because he don't give a fuck about nothing.
That motherfucker been having him rocking them bitches since he could grow hair. Like this nigga ain't got
that's how you should know. We is not finna win this game. That nigga don't care about his hair. You see that?
If you want Kawhi, give me the straight back. Yo, dog, I almost got her. I was trying to get her. Sooner or later.
Yo, the way he laughed in that interview.
I can't even see you. Where are you? How was that funny, Kawhi? Like nobody.
Nobody.
Really funny with that joke. He was like, "Yeah, I can't even see you. Where are you?"
Like, how do you take that laugh? Like,
I don't even know if he know how funny he is between that and between the baby. Like,
oh God, yeah. Board man get the board baby. Why get personality?
Hilarious.
Hey, what movie was that? This nigga put on the ring. He was like, I got personality.
It's a card he flipped. Oh my God.
I activate my trap card. Kawhi personality.
Oh, so with all the hype of
personality, I choose you. Right,
so with all the hype of WandaVision and talk of mutants and all the other stuff above, there's talk of Marvel bringing in the mutants, rebooting the franchise.
It shouldn't be a talk. It should be a fucking given.
Yeah,
it's Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige. This man has managed to, in 10 years.
If he don't bring out the mutants, he gonna fuck up all that.
I don't. It was his idea to bring out Black Panther. I don't knock nothing. He's at this point, whatever decision this man is making,
he good.
I'm for it.
As long as it's the right one, I'm with him because you can't get this franchise back and just shit the bed with it. You have to.
You
have
no choice.
Get it right. 2, introduce them in a way to it makes sense. You're not trying to dumb people down and just be like, oh well, the snap brought them back. That's all we got.
Yeah. No, you
and
got
then 3. It has to be a good story. I don't want to see nothing what they did before. I need a fresh story.
No, God.
I want to see something based off the animated series. I mean, you can start it like that. I mean,
man, listen, because the animated series gave us so much. It wasn't even funny. It's on those DVDs and write notes. Do what you got to do. I know my top 3 things with that wouldn't exactly be what DC said, although everything he said makes sense. But my number 1 thing with something as beloved as X-Men, because Jason was making, our guest last week, was making such a great point in saying we all went gaga and drooled over and fell for the Avengers when they brought them on the big screen. But a lot of our first loves of superhero movies were X-Men.
Yeah.
So it's like bring them back. I need this casting to be A1 because Black Panther, in my opinion, worked not just because of storyline and this and what was already there. Yeah. You got the casting right. You decided on something from jump that was like, hey, we're not doing racially ambiguous, everybody is black. You're gonna look and see black. We said black.
If you have Latin, if you have a Latin mutant, you will know. If he's Cuban, you will know. If she's African American, you will know. If
you're not gonna
you're not gonna sugarcoat that.
No, we don't need to, because when you're into the storylines or you're into the comics, they were not sugarcoating anything. It was very much dealing with the same type of race relations and all type of political bullshit that we're dealing now. I need the casting to be right.
Speaking of race, they are. I don't know if you heard this, Chris, but they're doing the Blue Beetle.
I did hear that. Yeah,
okay. I was excited about that.
Give me a Latin superhero. Like, it just got to be the right cast.
It's got to be the right one. You ain't looked up information on that Negro.
And please, DC, just fucking do the job right. There's got to be somebody.
DC, okay.
No, not that DC.
I will. Hey, Jay, about doing a job.
But it's just they take so much, and we've talked about this in great length. Like, I want both houses to succeed equally.
Yeah. I don't know about equally, but succeed, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I do, because I started, and here's the crazy part: I started out as a huge DC fan.
Same.
Superman, still, like, I got the Superman tattoo. Like, that was my first. But Marvel, when they started their run, and DC fell off after Superman Returns, I'm not gonna lie, I turned my back on them. Like, y'all dropped the ball with Superman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole idea of the Justice League that they had with Common and all this other stuff, branching off of that was going to be scrapped all that because Superman Returns bombed. DC, I mean, Marvel was there to pick me back up and, dust me up, like. And like DC, like they would
dust you off. If adjusted your hoodie for you, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go, babe.
Like, you're already
in the comic book. Give me a lollipop.
Yeah, gave you a lollipop. So I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, for every Aquaman or Wonder Woman, you had a Batman versus Superman. And then like for every Shazam, which was actually not a bad film.
You're not bringing up Batman and Superman. It's still.
I'm gonna lie, though, I'm more of a fan of that when they did the animated Shazam than I was
of that one.
The animated
the same
Shazam. I love them.
I mean, it was.
But see, that's the thing. They're animated.
I think they kind of took that storyline. They just.
I mean, they're taking the storyline, yeah, but it's different when you have the actual actors, and I mean, that's my thing. I have to like and connect a little bit with who's there. I think
Zachary Levi didn't do it for you.
And I love him. Don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say he's like a fan favorite, like a geek fan favorite. Period. Like
love him. But I was like, I don't know why this ain't hitting for me. But I love Megan Good, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, who don't?
Listen, you throw her in anything, I'm watching that shit. You give me Cecil Hotel.
My money. But like I said, out of their current roster of films, right now. The first Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam. Man of Steel might make it in that list.
I think I would put Shazam above Aquaman.
But see, those are the ones that are the most successful.
I'm gonna let him do that because Aquaman was a mess. I'm sorry.
But see, it was
all over the place for me.
It was all over the place.
It was adventurous. I mean, they tried to go big with it.
Yeah,
but it just
and the fact that it was his first, and the fact that this was this character's first time on screen, just like Wonder Woman and Shazam, it was their first time on the big screen.
Nailed it the first
Wonder Woman, the first one was great. So
second one was great.
But with Aquaman, they did what I didn't want them to do. Although as a woman, definitely still enjoyed it. It was like all this fan service and the playing up that he's fine. We know he's fine. I don't need another slow.
My nigga had his shirt off 95% of the
movie. Or those slow-mo shots with him all the time. I'm like, if I see him one more game,
he whipped his hair back and forth like Willow Smith a couple times. It was just
like a lot, even right
what
before
firefighters like this.
It was a
Yeah.
lot. Or even him, although I liked it from a cultural aspect, because he added in the chanting and the, all that stuff. That was great.
Yeah.
I love it. However, like, what?
But see, once again, though, it's if you look at their roster of that they currently have out, these are their most successful. What did I say? 4 films. Their most successful 4 films.
And the fact that there's only 4 and Marvel got like 4,000.
Like I think Marvel has like 23 or 24.
It was like
they just made a whole first phase, and
they just like they just throw the,
Like
you can throw a dart. You can throw a dart and I'm like winner.
And even when they had them bust because Iron Man 3,
Thor, Dark World,
Thor, Dark World, Iron Man 3, and Age of
but
Ultron.
Ragnarok made up for that in like.
Yeah, I like the Age of Ultron.
See,
myself
now you can look at it now with a whole different.
I thought about looking at it now that we're done with WandaVision. I thought about going back to look at it because
I just watched it the other day.
Yeah, like when you look at it now,
like I wanted Tony to really get dark, really get drunk, like in the comics, and it didn't go as far as I thought they could have took it. Because again, I'm like Robert Downey Jr. really went through this shit in real life. He's not playing this character; he is this character.
And everybody says that. Everybody says
storyline, and they didn't like really.
They kind of went to the edge, but then brought him right back. Like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was probably their weakest because of the Iron Man 3 was probably their weakest because of.
I thought 2 was bad.
Weakest storyline.
The storyline was trash.
I will say I feel like the acting in 3 was better from him.
Than
what he was doing before.
Because you still have the whole Mandarin reveal, and that was a slip. That was probably Marvel's really their only major. And they tried to correct that in one of their one-shot films, but kind of damage done too late. So now they're getting an opportunity to fix that with Shang-Chi. So they're getting an opportunity. Yeah. So
you got Iron Man 2 for me. Thor: The Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
What else was bad in that? I'm trying to think. That was
thing. It's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's
really not. 23 movies. Yeah, it's not a lot.
Marvel got wrong. So you got 4 from DC right. You got 4 from Marvel that was wrong. And
like you said, maybe. You said maybe.
23 that was good.
And then typically when they follow up behind something, you be like, I ain't really like that to follow up the Dark World with Ragnarok. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And Ragnarok to me, if we're gonna look at all of the Marvel films, Ragnarok to me, you talking top 5 or at least top 10. If I'm putting them in order.
I'll go top 5 with you.
It was
Iron Man
really
1.
good. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna get because I'm still waiting on it. I'm like, we ain't gonna get Planet Hulk like ever.
Yeah, that little tease in there was nice.
I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, that stretch.
It's not even funny. Can we?
Can we see how this built up to that point? Like, please, we just.
I really thought they were going to go there because it was such a cool storyline and just.
I mean, you had all that.
Really was a good.
They got it all.
You had Korg. You had little.
I'll never forget that series because when he finds out he can get home and they take the ship home. And like Korg and everybody's on the inside of the ship, and they're asking like, "Where's the Green King at?" I was like, "He's outside thinking," and I'm like, "This motherfucker's on the spaceship outside, sulking, mad. Like he's that mad that he like, I will ride this bitch outside all the way home, and because I'm ready to tear some ass up,
boss shit."
And he did. He did. Like I think he was breaking. He broke Reed Richards' jaw, but it turned out that version of Reed Richards was a scroll anyway.
He can. No, I can't go there.
No, wait. No, we're saving it. Yeah, that's the After Dark show.
Don't bust that yet. We'll be right back.
Yeah. So, but there was so much, but but like I said, out of 23, maybe 24 films.
Let's go 27.
They give. Let's round it up. But
so they had 4 bombs.
They've had a couple stumbles, but they
recovered. 2 Guardians of the Galaxy, I wasn't all the way with.
Okay, I want to say that.
Look, I am here
I'm
for
not feeling
everything, but it was kind of like there was a point in the movie I was like, all right, like
this nigga out here just fucking people and making Milk
that
chocolate
part.
baby.
Yeah, it was that.
It got weird. It got
got
weird
too
towards
weird.
the end.
And I was like,
This
well,
thing
you
out here
shot me
playing
another
this.
soundtrack
I'm here to
next time.
plant my seeds.
Oh God, I wish I had a soundbite for that one.
Like it
We
just
need
got
to get
weird.
that soundbite. We got to get
It
that
was weird.
soundbite.
I'll get that later.
We
But
gotta
it just got
get that
weird because it's like, okay, you're a living planet. Okay, I get that. You have a body somewhere. Okay, I get that. Now you just out here giving people cancer and babies at the same time. Like,
It just
for
it
what?
wasn't making sense after
Like,
a while.
why was you doing it? Just because you could? Like, what was the?
Yeah, and I'm like, and I
mean,
already let it slide that y'all won the battle in the first movie because of a dance party. I already let some shit slide. Okay.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
it's this type of film. Because
Oh,
it's,
no,
that,
and I understand.
it's
I
that
get it.
quirky type of film. So
I'm
we'll
like,
let
this
that
makes
go.
sense for this character, this world. I get
But
it.
the
What I'm not
living
going to do is
planet
have you do that every single
dipping
time.
his trees into people.
I will say this: they always got a good soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
soundtrack will be fire.
They got some great sound. They got a great
70s
soundtrack.
and 80s music ain't no wrong soundtrack.
right.
Yeah.
It was like,
This shit's
I
gonna
got
be
this for
good.
you. I got you this Zune. I'm like, damn, motherfucker, you still behind. Oh well, work it to your advantage. So, like,
Man, the movie.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing I looked for. It was between when I watched the first Guardians of the Galaxy and then also when I watched Into the Spider-Verse. I remember being like, where I need this soundtrack ASAP.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
those are their two best soundtracks.
the man Into the Spider-Verse. We still listen, like we listen to that and Black Panther like religiously. If we got a road trip, those are the first two albums we play back to back.
Those are some
So
really
good.
yeah. God,
I'm still bumping Hamilton.
I was building cosplays
what?
off of
I'm
Guardians of the
still
Galaxy.
bumping Hamilton. So
Oh, okay, I've never watched it. I heard great things.
the soundtrack was good.
For what?
Kirk
Kirk
Franklin.
knows it. My theme song is "Wait for It." That's my shit. I think hit it.
Yeah,
That's all.
Hamilton is good though. It's
But
catchy.
yeah,
as hell.
so let's go. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok. No, I mean, I'm sorry, Thor Dark World,
Oh, you saying for weakest?
Iron Man 2 for me. And then after that, fuck. I mean, that's kind of it.
It's hard.
It's a really hard roster to pick from.
Because Iron Man 2 is just weird to me.
Is it because of the bed?
It was like just the whole thing.
Is it Mickey Rourke? Is it the Mickey Rourke thing?
It was partly him. He got weird fingers. I'm sorry. He got like weird fingernails.
sausage-
He got
we
weird
got
fingers, and that's
sausage
why you
fingers.
snap the whole movie.
Like,
He got
like
sausage
it's just
fingers.
skinny till it get to the top, and then it's like the weird big ass nail. Like it's like two, but it wasn't just that though. But go back and look. He got weird fucking fingers. I don't know why. But
he was walking around in work boots with no socks on with no problem.
too,
I'm like, dude, I've worn work boots, but your shit don't hurt.
like Justin
was
Hammer
weird.
kind of made it okay, but it was just I didn't like the plot line. Like I just didn't. It just made it. It was like too easy. Like,
Yeah, but the Justin Hammer thing was funny though.
It was, but he was great.
Yeah, he's
Justin Hammer
funny.
was great.
And he got moves. I'll give him that.
Man,
I'm
listen,
like,
we came
how
out
the
there.
fuck you come out on James Brown?
It was on beat.
It was like really great. I said, okay, and then
I
I'm
was
gonna.
like,
I
I'm
mean,
black. I
two
can't
Well,
do
like,
it.
that's the only, you mean so that's the only thing that works from Justin Hammer is that his dance moves don't
dance
never
moves was
fail.
on point.
He
His
can't shoot
point
a
is
rocket.
shit.
This
I've seen him do
motherfucker's
so
gonna
many
run.
He's been good at a lot of other stuff.
He has.
Oh,
He
yeah.
really has. He
I just-
reminds me of
yeah.
Gary Oldman a little bit. Like he's starting to
I
pop
can
up
give you
in all these
that.
different, like these
Yeah,
When
little
he does
weird.
pop up, I'm immediately
Gary
interested
Oldman
in
is
the
a good
character.
one.
Yeah. So Gary Oldman, for somebody that's a good
What's
actor,
Eli?
he's a good character actor as well.
Oh,
So
what? When I first heard he was going to be Commissioner Gordon, I was just like, listen,
I'm sold. You know?
I love you. I love you so much, and I'm here for it.
So
Shut up and take my money.
Listen, that was not a hard sell. I love looking at the cast and being like, okay, the only person I was like, I don't know about him as Harvey Dent was Aaron Eckhart. I think that's his name.
oh yeah, Eckhart.
And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know about him. And then it was one of those things where, again, you have an actor. He did a fabulous Harvey Dent. I didn't like you as Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Wasn't really
Well,
sold on it.
Yeah, it didn't. He didn't turn.
But you're Harvey Dent. I believed you.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
George
because
Clooney's
he
back.
it was like his
Exactly.
whole.
You can be a good Bruce Wayne and a shitty Batman. It
But
happens
see,
almost
that's
all
always,
the time.
but that's always been a conversation when it comes to actors playing
Dual
Bruce
roles.
Wayne / Batman. It was like it's always you're either a really good Bruce Wayne or you're a really good Batman. It's really rare that you're both.
It's hard to nail both.
That's why it always goes back to Michael, because I'm like,
he nailed both.
And the reason, nope. Here's the thing: the reason he nailed both was all director. Had you not had Tim Burton, and had you had someone else directing it, different ball game. Because your version of Batman wouldn't have worked in this kind of universe.
Yeah. Because
we really killing folks over here.
Because after Batman Returns, the rest of those joints.
Listen, and then mind you, still enjoyed the camp, but I was like, and really probably more so here for the costumes. I love Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
I'll say that his Mr. Freeze look was still really good. Like,
listen, those costumes were cool. Uma changed the game with all those fucking poison ivy.
Wait, who was the Batman for that?
George Clooney. Yeah, it was George Clooney.
Bat nipples. I'm cool on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did little butt close-ups, and I was like, what are we doing?
I'm cool on that. Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Like, but the costume design, other than the villain costume
design. Yeah, the set and costume designs were bomb. Alicia Silverstone was pointless. There was a lot that was wrong with all that.
They introduced
the butt shots for me. It was just too much.
Yeah. That was who was the director for that one? Joel Silver, was it Silverman? Joel
Silverman.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were going for.
He likes a lot of butt shots.
Yeah. Oh, it's giving nipples. I'm like, why? He's wearing body armor. Like,
because he's anatomically correct. He's not a cannibal.
Like, who is that fooling? That's like not fooling anybody, so
nobody.
But yeah, but I will say, like, Mr. Freeze, and I'll admit, like, Arnold's one-liners always get me. It don't matter what movie he's in. His one-liners always get me.
So good. And
on Mortal Kombat, he has a bunch of them. They're like his character. They had a Terminator character. You know how before they fight, they do the little quips and stuff.
Oh, you talking about for the DLC?
Yeah. So I went through. There's a clip on YouTube. I went through and watched all of them. He does stuff from Last Action Hero, fucking Kindergarten Cop, all the Terminators. I don't think there was a Mr. Freeze line in there, but he had a whole bunch of like his iconic like one-liners from the movies and stuff. And this game, responding to the other characters, it's the dope thing.
But see, that's the thing with Arnold. Arnold always, as corny as the one-liners are, they're still funny. They're still funny.
Yeah, like, there's not a lot of people that can say a couple of things. Like I would say him, Bruce Willis, and what's the other guy? Rocky guy. I'll give you guys that realm of, you could say like one line and it's gonna make the movie, it's gonna make the scene, and that's it. Other than that, nah.
So, but yeah, it's funny. Like, what was it, Commando, when he impales the guy on the steam pipe? He was like, stick it around, and it's like, dude, like you're in the middle of trying to get your daughter back, and here you are making these weird things.
Just like, awkward.
Hold on. Let's see what we got. He sent me some links. He's probably talking. You know what? He's probably talking about something? Yeah. He's probably talking about the links for Arnold's one-liners and all that stuff.
Oh, that's fabulous. I'll watch that.
So, but yeah, all that's hilarious. Like I'll watch Arnold do one-liners and that's really the only big draw in like the Batman films. At least that one was
I was just here for the costumes and Arnold, because nothing else. I was like, I'm not really
that was a really impressive
couldn't even tell you the storyline, like what was really going on. I did another one I like, the costumes with Jim Carrey as Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Now, Tommy Lee Jones, great Two-Face. Couldn't have done no Harvey Dent. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do Harvey Dent, thankfully.
Didn't have to. Praise God. But his layer and the two different women, because Drew Barrymore and Vivica Fox, that shit was hot. Like, I think they were both in that too. No, Vivica Fox, I think, was Mr. Freeze's girl.
No,
I think.
No.
Because she was misbehaving. I don't know who she was with.
Yeah. No. If she was misbehaving, she was Harvey's.
Harvey? Okay.
Yeah, she was Dent's.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm as a matter of fact, I've never seen anybody do a cosplay of Arnold's Mr. Freeze.
I saw
That's hard to
one.
pull off.
I got a picture. It was my
That's
second
hard one.
Wizard World. I saw one. And I can understand why people don't do it.
That's so hard to pull off.
It's gotta be. That's gotta be.
It was a lot. The guy had like the dry ice and stuff, and I just remember staring at him because I was like, I can't believe you did this, but I understand why people don't. It's so much. Like I want to do old girl. What is her name? Demona from Gargoyles. That's fucking work. That's work.
I seen one person do that.
I thought about doing it. Guess who I saw on Facebook already?
Night Mage.
I was like, Simpsons did it.
I got Night Maged.
Like you got this right. You got Night Mage.
I mean Night Maged the other night.
Don't think about it too hard because you'll get Night Mage.
You will. He knows. Like, oh, you want it? I remember being like, oh, I want to do a female version of Inspector Gadget and have like little, girly products like a makeup brush and stuff from
He's probably watching right now. You're going to get
and then he did Inspector Gadget, and I was just like, fuck.
You know what it is? My guy's like Google. He's always listening. And
I'm like, with him, you got
Spider-Man senses.
He don't do a lot of anime characters. You got to do something he don't touch.
Oh yeah.
What?
Like he's got
so
over
he doesn't
200.
do a lot of anime characters.
Oh, okay.
So you have to do some obscure anime character because he does a lot of the main.
You know what? You know about saying that? He's listening. He can be like,
I can't do anime.
Now this motherfucker doing all kind of weird anime characters and poses.
Like I didn't even know you watched this.
He does some, but he does. Shout out to Night Mage. He does.
I want us all to just like have a screenshot.
Sailor Moon and shit.
Chris,
speaking of cosplayers, Mr. Tetris Cosplay, who we've had on a couple of weeks ago, he is in the Cosplay magazine, Cosplay Alliance. So go check out that issue. Pick that up. Support Black Cosplay Boosters with that he co-founded with Vampy Snow, who was on our show a couple weeks ago as well. Last week. Shout out to James Michael Primrose, who was also our guest from last week. He met his Kickstarter for Lost Children of Andromeda.
I really need Chris to get with the pose because if we're going to you have to have your like right after we knock a guy out, this is the last thing he sees. The three of us pose.
The weird ass Team Rocket pose.
Oh my god.
But yeah, shout out to those guests. Like he met his Kickstarter quota. We will be getting our hardcover signed. If you pledge, thank you. This is a good sign, a really good sign of supporting POC creatives and showing up for their work. It's what we're looking for. Is what we need. We need more of it. So, and one more piece of news. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I'm looking forward to this. Thunder Force.
I didn't see the trailer for that, and I am ready for it.
Oh, wait, they already have a trailer?
Yeah, they actually have a trailer.
Okay.
Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer are playing superheroes who aren't really super. They're 40-something-year-old women who at least Melissa McCarthy's character accidentally gets super strength. Octavia Spencer is the doctor who has invisibility, so they are fighting against their main villain. And Jason Bateman's in it. And he's got like lobster claws hands or something. I'm looking for this. Comes out on Netflix next month, and I am so looking forward to this because I love Melissa McCarthy. And just about anything.
Ruin it because I saw an article that was determined to steal my joy, and it did.
Just said still my joy.
Just because I get what they're saying.
We just hit the post.
Oh, they were excited about the idea of them being superheroes when you first heard about it, probably like a year ago. I was too. And then, you see stills or you watch the trailer and it was like, okay, this is like the funny fat thing happening again. And that's where some women were like, okay, why couldn't they have a storyline that was more serious along the line that we know we're going to get with Black Widow? Because Black Widow's probably gonna have funny moments, but for the most part, it's gonna be serious badass. They wanted a serious badass superhero movie with fuller women and not having it be we're the comedy fat kind of trope, because bigger people are always the funny big people. You don't get to be the badass sexy people. And I can totally understand why women would have a problem with that, especially because most women are not built like Scarlett Johansson or a lot of the females we see in the Marvel and DC universe. They're just not.
Yeah, I can't argue with that because I'm not a full-figured woman. I'm a full-figured man, so it's different. So I can't be like.
But I can understand, and it's not even an argument. I can understand that point. I can understand,
but that's what they are known for. At least Melissa McCarthy, like that's her thing. Like she's not really this serious actress, and to see Octavia Spencer getting in on a comedy.
Well, that's the sad.
She's always done either or.
A plethora of different things. Although she's always going to be the creepy lady from Ma. Don't make me drink alone. Don't let me drink alone. Crazy ass. But I've seen some interviews like with Rebel Wilson and women in Hollywood that are known as the bigger girls, and sooner or later they lose weight. I ain't seen one not lose weight yet, even Lizzo, because after a while, you being the big girl ain't hitting no more for you. You're tired of being that same, I'm the funny fat friend, or I'm just the funny, like that's okay. What else can you give us? And Melissa has done several more serious roles, but you're just not.
She's got a couple under her belt.
Because I can also understand going into Hollywood, and if being the bumbling big girl gets you the checks, you go on where the bag is. But after a while, if you really are kind of like, hey, I'm also an actress, like I can do other things. I don't want to always do this.
And I think it always goes into like your comfort level too. Like if you're comfortable, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, fine. That's completely different. But when you want to start doing other stuff, even with Tiffany Haddish, I totally understand why she took a back seat and stopped doing stuff like roles, because the last couple of roles she tried to do were more serious, but you're not being taken seriously because everybody's looking at you like this, the loudmouth interviews. The wild card. Meanwhile, she's like, I got more to offer, but y'all ain't ready for it because of what I set myself up as. I went with what was selling, and after a while, that shit burns out from anybody. After a while, it's kind of like, what else can you give us? Because we don't allow too many actors or actresses to be funny, crazy, zany their whole careers. We just don't. You won't take them seriously.
And actually the role is different for men than it is for women.
Absolutely.
Because for the longest, I don't want to say the longest because Chris Hemsworth hasn't been acting that long, but for the time he's been acting, everybody was looking at him. He's the buff guy. He's the good-looking buff guy. Take his shirt off, make the money. Nobody really knew he had a funny side unless you worked with him. And he likes doing the funny stuff. You know what I mean? He likes poking fun at himself. He likes being the jokester on set. He likes doing that stuff. So, but then if you
casting is real.
Yeah, it is.
I can understand going with it just for survival in Hollywood. I get it. I get why people just succumb to it, but it just sucks when it's like you're just known for this. Now for the rest of my life, I'm Carlton Banks. I'm Steve Urkel. I can't do shit else. And I'm good at other shit, but I'm just in this box. So the little bit of complaining that did happen, I understand why they did, because I ain't gonna lie, I thought too this was gonna be like a serious superhero film. I was like, oh, this is a kind of almost buddy cop superhero. Okay, I'll pass.
I see Melissa McCarthy. I knew it wasn't gonna be shit serious about it.
I will say this. There's a scene where they drive up in a Ferrari, and whether you're a really small person or not, a Ferrari is not what you want to use for a superhero type car. Like that's not. It's low to the ground.
Anything that's too low.
It's low to the ground. It's a tight fit. You can't really look if you're in the city. You know anything about the city? You're hitting potholes, so it's not designed. now everybody knows why Batman drives that big ass tank of a tumbler around Gotham City. Now.
The way he gotta turn out that car and kick some ass. You selling weed?
I need this son bitch to spit me out so I can do some damage.
Pop me all the way out this bitch. Period.
Swear to me, but you broke my jaw. I don't give a damn. Swear to me.
But there's a scene. There's a scene where they drive up in a Ferrari, and it's actually a really funny scene because they do the spin out and they're getting out the car and they have to like slide out. She was like, "We need to rethink this car," and they're just like, "Yeah." because it's a funny little scene. Like, if you know anything about like a sports car like that, you know those some bitches are just hard to get in, hard to get out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a race car that's not designed to race.
Even if you go on go-kart racing, it's difficult to be in a go-kart.
Yeah. Your knees is all out.
Listen, for my son's birthday a couple months ago, and I was like, God damn, like I'm driving like it's like a T-Rex. I'm like, how the fuck am I?
Like, where's my arms going? I can't even. I got carpal tunnel now.
Man, listen, I was like, I'm good.
So with all those films that we were just talking about, and obviously most of it, with the exception of the Mutants and Hellsing, more than likely, because I think Hellsing is probably going to is being produced, is being worked at Amazon Studios, so that's probably going to be released on Amazon Prime. All of these films are, or one form or another, going to a streaming service. They're going to a streaming service.
Nah.
Yeah, like we're in the second year of COVID.
Say that 3 times fast.
I like that meme that was like, we just gonna let March roll around the same way it did last year.
right.
Like pretty much.
Is this? Are we better off with some of our, these bigger budget films coming to streaming services? Are we better off?
We're better off than the pandemic, but I don't feel like it's a whole.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's completely fair because
pandemic, yeah, sure, but like socially, economically, I'm like, there's certain stuff that I would have never said I feel like we need as a society, and there's certain things that I'm like, nah, we need concerts, we need conventions, we need the movie theater, we need to do something else other than go to the store, work and shit, and go home. Like, we need entertainment. We
need interaction.
We're gonna start. Okay, we need interaction. This is why they started fucking gladiator shit. You want us to start killing each other out there more so? Like,
all we can do is wait. We can wait till after. We can wait till after. We can wait till after dusk on Sunday and watch the gladiators kill themselves.
Basically,
beat themselves. Right.
That's my favorite. Just happening to be like, meh.
But
no,
I mean,
it's gonna be like this or this.
That's the pose. Now.
We're not gonna do the thumbs up, thumbs down for the gladiator. We're just gonna go kill him.
Oh God, I told you can't put the three of us in a room together.
Not if you want something serious. Absolutely.
No. Yeah, but as far as it being better off, I'm like you, Brandy. Like, pandemic wise, yes. I've heard so many people complain, like literally complain. I want to go to the movie. Why can't I come out of the movie? Look, dude, we're not in a really safe space right now. And like, I've witnessed people at a store not wash their damn hands. And I'm like, you are the motherfuckers we're talking about.
Right.
I always witness people take a piss before COVID and not wash their damn hands.
Exactly.
That's period. That's
it. So, wash your motherfucking hands is what we're saying, and cover your damn mouth.
Wash your motherfucking hands.
Like I know Elmo has taught some of these kids how to wash their hands.
Elmo like that.
It's not hard to do. At least run them under some water.
Listen and do nothing.
I've heard more people complain about wearing masks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Than worry about the safety of other people. So we still got to get motherfuckers. Went to Bob Evans. Went to Bob Evans. Huh?
So apparently, did our two neighbors over there talk to you about our dogs attacking theirs?
No.
Okay, so he just, number one, was yelling at me. Number two, apparently.
Got it.
Yeah, I was like, handle that.
Yeah, so it's a problem where nobody wants to do their damn mask. Nobody wants to wear their mask where they're supposed to. Nobody wants to.
Pretty selfish. And if they don't want to wear a mask, I'm like, I talked to my dad because he just got shot 1 of the vaccine and he got like really sick, had hallucinations, all type of shit. Like,
damn.
He said it was really bad, but yeah, he's like, it was bad. And then he said he has to go back for a second one. He wish he had got the one where it's just like 1 and done. But he's like, yeah, the only way we're ever going to get out of how this world is if everybody gets the vaccine. I said, oh, that's never going to happen because people don't even want to wear a fucking mask, and that's free and it doesn't hurt like a shot. No side effects to wearing a mask. People don't even want to wear a mask. They are not going to.
There was a time before this. It was a time before all the mask wearing that you know, you had people that would already talk too close. You know, I'm like, all right, you might want to back up.
God, that personal space, or when you feel somebody's kind of like spit from them talking on you.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, you already smelling a little like hot garbage over there. I need you to back up a few feet, you know, and talk to me.
Personal space.
So I don't get it. You know, just do the right thing and don't worry about the rest. Just the people that's going to what they call them, the anti-maskers, when they have to figure out, like you're going to the store to protest. Do you know how dumb you look right now?
A lot of them. Then what's crazy is I think there were different reports out, and I don't know how true it is or not. So of course, do your own research on this. But they were saying there was a correlation between the people that were Trumpers and anti-maskers. And I always say there's a difference between Trumpers and Republicans. So don't come for me, okay?
Right.
But I was like, I could see that too, because if you want an election by majority of maybe lower income, lower education levels, it makes sense that these are the same people. You could say, inject yourself with Fabuloso and bleach and you should be fine. No. Please just wear a mask and wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Clean up after. So, because I swear, I don't know what people were using to clean before.
Listen, I'm like, I don't ever remember stuff just being out of stock. So y'all wasn't washing before is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, because before you can get bleach like readily, like now you're scrambling for bleach. I don't understand.
You can't out bleach, no regular hand soap, or them being like, I remember them being like, you could only use like or only buy like one hand soap at a time. It was so crazy.
I don't know, toilet paper and all that extra stuff. But as far as theaters are being concerned and being better off, yes, right now. I say we're being better off, and at the same time, like you're able, if you had any of these streaming services, you know, of course you missed that feeling of what was that meme I showed you last night? It said it had the two pictures of the movie theater, like the movie theater hallway, and then the movie theater stairs.
Oh, you were talking to me about that because someone sent it to you.
Yeah,
like, I missed the feeling.
I missed that feeling of walking out of another Marvel movie being traumatized. You know, and like. It's funny, but you kind of miss that. You miss that theater going experience. But in lieu of being safe, I'd rather be safe, you know, and just say, all right, I'll sit this out. You know, you're putting on a streaming service. I'm fine with that. Let's just do that until this thing blows over. And, you know, as much as we miss conventions, because you and I both, we go to conventions.
Definitely miss it. And we don't just miss it for like our dressing up, because we were talking about just socially, networking wise, just getting stuff there you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
I miss it. Like, miss it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's we're better off right now. That's just my opinion. We're just better off right now to deal with some of the crap we got to deal with, you know, where I'm at, where I work at, you know, we have to wear a mask all the time. I work in a hospital. We got to wear a mask all the time. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Maybe at all, you know, being that it's a hospital. And
probably not at all for y'all.
Yeah. You know, so when they say, oh, you got to wear your mask when you're walking to your car, you might be just going over the line here.
No, you know? I'm taking that off. And like, I'm a raw dog in the air.
Right.
Like
I can see if I'm around somebody, but I'm not walking in a group of people or anything. I'm by myself. I'm walking to my car. I need some air now. I need to breathe.
Yeah.
Fresh air. Like
the double doors open, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Like, hat goes on, mask comes off. Nobody's around me, you know.
Nobody's around. Like, and then most of the people that are passing you, they have their mask on because they're about to go in. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, and then
those of us that have been lucky enough not to get sick yet, we're going on year 2 of this. I ain't caught nothing yet.
Yeah,
you know, knock on wood. Like I'm praying still to be covered and stuff, but nothing.
Yeah, I can't. And for the people out there who are wearing their mask in the car and there's no one with them.
No, listen, I'm that person sometimes because I forget. So because you're so
there's forgetting. There's forgetting, and then there's like, come on now. You came in the car without the mask on. Like there's unless you're an Uber driver or something like that, you came with the mask on. So calm down.
Yeah, some people go extreme, and I can't be around the extreme people. I'm just kind of that middle person that's like, all right, there's certain activities I'm comfortable with doing. I still haven't traveled abroad. I know friends that are like going to Mexico and they traveling like COVID don't exist. They are out here. And then I have friends that literally said that haven't left their house like that since, unless they need food and stuff, since the pandemic started. They've literally been not going to anything entertainment wise, because some people are still having things like there's comedy shows sometimes still going on, and they're still doing social distancing. Some places are just like, we're having a club party, and as you see, there's no mask, no social distancing. I've seen it time and time again on the shade room, and I'm like, no.
Y'all a little too reckless, like seriously.
Way too reckless.
You know,
I'm
so
like, pass.
So yeah, it's a bit much out there, but before we get out of here, I want to put out there that we are still Blurred's Eye View as a collective. We're still taking in guests of POC. We're taking in POC creatives.
Yes.
All of you. If you're a writer, if you're an author, if you're a filmmaker, if you're a hip hop artist, if you're a cosplayer, a foam smith, a poetry artist, anything, and then you're dealing in the geek world, G Black, I'm talking to you because I got to get you on because you've done our song for the show,
and it's fabulous.
Yeah, so I love it. We'll more than likely have you on. We want you on, actually. Shout out to Mr. Tetris Cosplay, Vampy Snow.
It was so great to have you on. They are doing their thing.
For Black cosplay boosters and putting that light, shining that light on other Black cosplayers, small and medium or large or whatever size. And I'm not even meaning always just if you're a cosplayer of any level, let's put it that way, of any level and of any size, it doesn't matter. They're going to represent you, and we're going to represent you as well. If you're a foam smith and you can craft some of the best shit ever.
I've seen some impressive stuff. I wish.
I don't know, like
I can't do it.
I'm going to mention somebody, Raymond Ramos. I'm watching him because he's currently doing a Mandalorian cosplay.
It's probably going to be fabulous.
And just looking at I think he had the arm brace 3D printed, but that's about it. Everything else, foam, jetpack, foam.
I don't know if I'm more impressed by the crafting of the foam or when it comes time to paint it, because they still have to paint the foam and give dimension to it so it doesn't look like they just put cardboard on themselves. And I'm like, this is so impressive.
He manages to do some of the most amazing suits. Like he's done Cyborg and Batman, which is what he's in Black Lightning, which are the 3 best known ones he's done. And just the detail alone, like his Batman is from the video game, so he has all this detail work. Yeah, he has all this detail work on there, and I'm just like, I watched him build his Cyborg from scratch. Like he does a live video and he's like building this thing from scratch, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. And when he's done, you're just like, and that's foam. That was foam.
And it looks real.
Yeah. Like it looks better than what we are getting in the film or in the television. You're like, and this is foam. So shout out to all of you people out there who are
doing your thing.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
The creative time and energy it takes, no matter what material you use to do cosplay.
Yeah.
Even cosplay, you would think that'd be easier because it's like, all right, this is going like kind of a more simple way to do it. But then you're like, what do I have in my house to do this? It's difficult.
Crazy. But we're getting ready to step out of here because we're getting ready to jump into the Blurred Lair and talk about the series finale of WandaVision. I think we're gonna do a little something different. I may do this live on YouTube. Instead of just waiting, because this was the last episode. This was the last episode. There's no reason to wait till next week now. Yeah. Like there's so if you want to watch us on YouTube, go to the Blurred's Eye View YouTube page and check us out. We're going to be going up there in the next few minutes. And be sure to tune in and subscribe to the Facebook page, Blurred's Eye View, if you're already watching. Thank you. And the YouTube page, as I just stated, and stay tuned for the latest updates in the Blurred world. You can also check us out on Instagram at Blurred's_Eye View, all underscore on Instagram. And tune in next Saturday as we continue to showcase our many cosplayers and other POC creatives in many fields and genres. And until next session, I'm General Chris Fury, along with DC and Candy B. And remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, and most importantly, encourage yourself and others. Until next time, General Chris Fury and the crew, we're out.